Hey, welcome to Fluxx Talks. This is Anshu Jain, and today we have got a very exciting conversation. Well, today's guest is Szilard Szurdok, the founder and CEO of Weev AG, a company transforming the fashion and footwear industry through a digital platform that connects brands, designers, and material supplies, speeding up creation, boosting transparency, and supporting sustainable production. Szilard, welcome to the show.
Hi.
Well, we would want to understand your vision. What made you get into the system, transforming the industry completely?
Well, my background is actually fintech, so I didn't know much about fashion at all. And during Corona, I came back from an IPO in the US. First, I was exhausted and I slept for a year and I was wondering what's coming next. And then I realized supply chain was a big topic. And by coincidence, a guy asked me who used to do all the outsourcing products for Hugo Boss 20, 30 years ago, said, I built something. Do you want to have a look at it? Then I had a look at it and I thought, okay, this looks pretty promising. And I said, yeah, I might invest and help you a little bit on the IT side. 6 months later, I bought the whole solution and reworked it completely. And now I'm doing this for 5 years.
Whoa, how's the journey been like?
Well, it was a painful, long journey, as all entrepreneurs are, because you can do any business plan you want. The reality always is different. And then you need to act fast. And, you listen to a lot of people, in particular if you don't have the knowledge. And then finally, it's always still your stomach who's doing the right decision. And then it's your heart you follow. And then you align the mind. But normally, you're always in the mind and you need to first listen to yourself. And then the solution always comes by itself.
So what's your calling?
My calling is that anything you do, everybody considers it as a joke until it works. And once it's working, everything is changing. Everybody wants to support you.
Very true. You said it right. Well, you have bridged design, supply chain, and compliance. What was the turning point when you knew that you have evolved from a software project into a movement changing the industry?
Well, clearly we didn't thought very far. We only thought that we will do that for leather products, we will do that for small, medium businesses. But then all of a sudden, when we reworked the solution, we tried to think bigger. We thought, okay, what happens if we would look at transparency? We would look at sustainability. We would look at traceability. We look at IP rights. We would look at blockchain, not just the designer with the classical brand and the supplier, but let's look at all the stakeholders. What does that really mean? What could that happen? And in Europe, the supply chain laws changed, that you had to prove from where the material is coming, on what land, how much waste emissions did you produce. So we thought, okay, let's take this all into it. And what really changed first was that all of a sudden the big corporate companies started to call us and said, can we join? Can we look what you do? And I said, well, of course you can, but I'm sure you have that already. They said, no, we tried to do that. One of the biggest brands said, we tried to do that for 2 years, but we couldn't. And I said, of course, well, you are not an IT company. And they said, no, there's a lot of other problems when you have a lot of stakeholders. Everybody wants to protect his job and, whatever he's doing. So they said, we are really interested. So I realized, okay, I'm coming from fintech, used to work for HP, was in banking. So when I wanted to go to a client, which was all of them were IBM clients, they actually asked me, why do I need to see you? And normally they said, I'm not interested. And here all of a sudden, big companies are calling me and saying, can we join? Can we look? Can we be a part of this journey? And then I realized, okay, this might become something bigger. But even then I was not yet sure. I just felt that it could be something really with a lot of value add for our society.
All right. When you say that, there's so much of competition in the market.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many people who are doing what you are doing today.
Yeah.
What sets your company apart? Or if I may understand a bit about your business model.
Yes.
Don't you worry, I'm not opening another one.
Yes. Well, we are in a niche area. A lot of companies are in the supply chain area, but product creation was never really that topic. And what is changing now is, so far, when you had a kind of a collection and you had a kind of a shoe colors, that was one collection, that was one ID. And now with the European community, you need to have a digital passport ID for every single product. And all of a sudden, it's not about millions of product lines in a collection. All of a sudden, it's trillions of products that you need to have all the identity from everything what is really consisting, from the material, from where it's coming, what has happened, needs to be somehow documented. And this has happened through all the waste we have in particular in the fashion industry, where almost around, I don't know, they said it's around 50 to 80 pounds per person that people throw away clothes. A lot of the people, they buy stuff, they don't even use it. They just have it in their cupboard. So fashion is a big part in terms of providing to the waste, and therefore they want to do more control. And the European community has a very strong perspective on this one and tries to make the change there, which is of course very difficult. But we are actually a quite nice tool who's supporting that initiative.
How do you operate actually in reality? I mean, what is Weev AG, if I have to understand the crux of it completely?
Well, we...
Sorry, I'm getting into the intricacies of the same because I would want people to understand exactly who you are.
Yes.
And how do you operate?
Yes. We are really present in all markets, and the reason is very simple. Most of the brands are in the US. A lot of the design is in Italy. Most of the production is in China, Vietnam, now moving to Mexico. So when you build a collection today, you have around 200 people involved who are traveling around, who sometimes are working for different brands in parallel. So it's a huge collaboration effort. And actually the tool is a collaboration tool to coordinate all these people around the globe who are involved in this supply chain. And the main reason why we need this is in the fashion industry, we produce clothes as cheap as never. And there is not much more space and not more margin. So we need to save somehow differently on the products to help our planet. And our tool is a very substantial standard to help to make that happen.
The sustainability has always been the key behind all that you have done so far. Yes. Right, understand. Now you lead a global team in a traditionally non-digital industry. Now we live in an era where AI has completely transformed the way we think, we work, and innovate.
Yes.
How do you sustain?
We will see very few big winners with AI, and we don't know which one it is. But through this exercise, for example, I'm working with a person, she's a professor from MIT. Her name is Neri Oxman. So she has a job in New York to solve the waste problem, but she also works with bacteria where you're reusing plastic for leather. So we are coming into not just a different intelligence, we are also coming into a different level of innovations where a lot of things will be completely reinvented, and the classical traditional business as it happened in the past will not happen anymore. Or a lot of the shoe soles are built out of grape skin and stuff like this. So there's a lot of disruptive exercises happening. A lot of new things are coming, which we don't even see. And the speed of this is accelerating through the AI part, which is incredible. It's absolutely almost out of control already.
Do you think that your association with brands like Salesforce
and
Mark Benioff have shaped your mentality, thinking process, or identity, and that is further impacting the world that you're doing today?
Yes, I think the possibility for us to work with Salesforce, who owns the CRM supply chain to a big extent, not in all markets, of course there are other players, but they are clearly one of the future players. And we are complementary to them. So we can influence with our solution a lot of little things that are very important for the end consumer, because at the end of the day, it's the end consumer who buys a product and he wants to know what he gets. And through Salesforce, we have a possibility to go 2-3 steps completely ahead of our own curves. Because if we would have to build the AI ourselves, we don't even have the resources for it. But using an AI in the sense of our interest and having this possibility gives us a horizon which is incredible.
The speed at which you're growing is incredible.
Yes.
5 years. And associating with giants.
Yes.
What led you to this?
I think we will become the standard for the market, and not a standard in the sense of trying to rule or to support any lobby. We are completely independent. Being in Switzerland is helpful. So we will try to be a standard for a democratic system where all the players have to show what they do. And the ones who are thinking ahead and going ahead and pushing innovations will clearly have a big advantage to work with our system.
Was it tough to crack?
The?
Was it tough to crack or was it difficult to gain acceptance?
No, actually not, because what is interesting, even though the fashion industry is not the most advanced business, they are willing to change. And they are just looking desperately for solutions to support this exercise. So actually, this was the most nice situation I ever had, that it was actually not even a pain, because we got a lot of inputs from the customers where they also told us what is really important to them. So this is the best part of our exercise. And of course, that we have a purpose that can serve for the next generations.
These 5 years have been exceptional for you.
Yes.
You gain acceptance.
Yes.
You were able to knock on the doors.
Yeah.
Today you're associating with giants.
Yes.
Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
I hope, because what is happening now since 2 years, we realize that what we are doing is not just important for the shoe industry. We are looking at the coffee industry, we are looking at the steel and wood industry. So I think there is something in our solution that has a big value for the future. Otherwise, we would not have the chance to find other industries with the same problems who are looking for a purpose with a solution as we have. So actually, I believe we could become a very important tool for the end consumer to support our planet with a lot of the waste problems for all industries.
Exactly. That was my next point, and you just covered it up, because fashion is one such industry wherein we're talking more and more about sustainability, yet the most waste is generated from fashion industry.
Yes.
What are your future plans for the same?
Well, the most important piece of our platform is that anybody who is keeping on producing a lot of waste will be disqualified, and not by us, by the end consumer. So we just building the transparency. We are not having the power to do that. So if the end consumer accepts waste and wants to buy this product, but we know our children don't want to do that anymore. They don't even want to have any animal dying for a shoe. So I think this is the most important piece of our whole platform that will really have an impact, which we will see now. And some companies will run out of business.
Very true. And as you rightly mentioned, I believe more than our generation, as we talk about Gen Zs, they're much more concerned and they're much more aware of the environment.
Absolutely.
Correct? All right. Now, another topic that I would want to touch upon, ESG and traceability. They are usually considered as compliance burdens, but you guys turned them into business opportunities. How did you do so?
Yeah, well, I took some learning from our crypto Bitcoin. Switzerland had, of course, a very strong Bitcoin crypto wave, let's put it this way. So today there are lots of certificates. There are lots of ESG organizations. Lots of them have different simple tools, how they support that you get the paper that you can produce. But most of them will not survive. So we are giving all players of the ESG game a place on our platform. And we don't care who survives. But we know already which players are being accepted, who are more sustainable in really doing the work, not just giving you the stamp. So our platform supports everybody, but we know that very few will survive. And we see that the same with crypto. Very few really survived, and they are the ones who are really also connected to our generic monetary system. So this will happen the same with the ESG ones. A lot of them will disappear because they are just here to try to make easy money.
So this is quite very transparent right here, everything.
Yeah.
Okay. You have had a phenomenal journey in terms of your work experience. If I have to ask you a message that you would want, or that you wish to give to all the budding entrepreneurs, what would that be? Yeah,
always everybody's asking for the one advice to make something happen. And actually there's no one advice. Clearly, everything what I planned, everything what I thought will happen, didn't happen. And we built the business completely differently than we thought. The key areas was perseverance, so really not to give up. But at the same time, you needed to have a huge flexibility that each time when you went to the wrong direction, that you immediately turned around and tried to do something else. And still, it didn't work. And you still did mistakes. And a lot of time you were full in your head instead of just going with your stomach, following your heart, and sometimes just forget your head and just go and see what happens and have the time. And don't stop half of the way. And then at some stage, don't listen to other people. Just go with your feeling. And sometimes you're more successful than trying to plan everything. Entrepreneurship is not the thing to plan. Innovation cannot be planned. You need to feel the direction where to go, and you just need to run as fast as you can.
How beautifully you have put this entire, I just got lost for a moment. As it is rightly mentioned, where there is a will, there is a way. And when your intent is right,
yes,
and you're willing to give in all that you have,
yes,
you're willing to put in all the efforts, that hard work, you have the determination, that grit and perseverance, as you rightly mentioned. There's nothing in this world that can stop you from achieving what you truly aspire to. Yeah. Well, before we conclude, you're also the proud recipient of Fluxx Awards.
Yes.
How do you feel about it?
Well, for me, it's a big honor that what we do is being seen as the right thing. But I'm just representing the team, because all of my team members are doing this extra mile, and we are not finished. So having this opportunity to be here and being seen gives a very big satisfaction for the whole team. I'm just representing the team. We are all on the same level. There's no hierarchy. Everybody is my peer. And everybody is doing the same journey as I do, on his own level, on his own speed. And we try just to keep together the same direction.
That's what makes you a great leader, I believe.
Yes.
Thank you so very much. It was indeed a pleasure talking to you. Thank you for joining us today. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we hope that you enjoyed this conversation. I'm pretty sure you must have got to learn a lot. But one thing that I would surely say, any journey that you embark in, it's never going to be an easy process. All you need to do is to be consistent, believe in yourself, believe in the Almighty, and there's nothing that can stop you from achieving your goals. Thank you so very much for joining. For more such interesting conversations, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Fluxx Talks, and connect with us on all our social media handles, Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn, Fluxx Talks. See you soon. Thank you for joining.